The AMT Impala gets done this week on Angelo's Workbench. While the master cylinder is curing up there, we're going to go ahead and get this ready to go. So I'm going to do a little chrome around the headlight area, and not around the headlights, behind the headlights. There we go. Looking for that headlight look after we put the lenses in. And I'm doing a little bit of the surround too, but not all of the surround. Just the inside of the surround. Because again, our vehicle owner has opted for a monochromatic paint scheme. And we're going with that. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. And then I can drop a little turn signal amber on this chrome down here. Pop the headlight bezels in. And then the only thing that's left is a little wash for the grille. So we'll give this stuff a shake. I love this panel line accent color. This is good stuff. I used this stuff on the suspension of this thing a couple of episodes ago. And I mean, that just looks great. This stuff is a great product. Saves me mixing up a wash every time I need it. Used to be 1 part paint to 10 parts thinner. I remember it like it was yesterday. Now it's just you grab the bottle and you shake it, and you're ready to go. There we go. And this stuff works great. And comes in several colors. I understand there's a brown and a gray, and I do have a few of the other colors. Obviously, I use black the most. And the bottles seem to last quite some time. I've had this one for a while now. And I'm going to get that little triangle down there. That's going to be difficult to do, those side parts. I might have to actually do that with paint. Okay. And we're making good progress here. Starting to look really good. To aid in the speed the drying process, I may pop this in the dehydrator. I'm going to give this emblem a little dab with it. Bring out some of that SS around the chrome. Oh, look at how good that looks too. A little bit of wash over the chrome after you do the chrome, and the chrome cures. That's good stuff. Wash is one of those model building techniques that really takes things to the next level for you. If you're not experimenting with washes, I would suggest that you do so. Because just adding a little bit of a wash to a part completely transforms that part. Makes it look very lifelike, very realistic. All right, so there is our front grille with its wash applied. And as I said, I'm going to just turn on the dehydrator. I'm going to pop that into the dehydrator. We'll let that run in there for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll take it out, see if it needs another coat or if it needs anything else to make it look the part. And while that is in the dehydrator, we can prepare the wheels and tires. We can get that part going. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I have here my parts bin with all of the parts. And we're going to need all these little brakes. And we're going to need all these little wheel backs. We're running out of parts. We are going to need these wheels, which I love these wheels. The wheels are very 90s, man. Very 90s. And I'll take the windshield wipers out. We'll make a final decision on that, if we're going to do windshield wipers or not. And then I have here the exhaust tips. We can get that out of the way. And then, I don't know what that is. This is a miscellaneous part that never went on. I'll have to look back and see. Maybe I missed it. But I also took out the chrome trim. Basically, I've got all the parts that I think are going on the car. I opted not to put the rear view mirror in. Because I just kind of like the way it looks without it. And so I've got a hood here, the two-piece hood, which is ready to go together. And then we will be able to put that chrome trim on, and that's gonna look sweet, 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 sweet. So let's get to work on these wheels for now. So the tires, where'd I put the tires? That's a very good question. Has anybody seen the tires? Here they are. Okay. The tires are pretty cool. And I've been doing the debate back and forth as to white letter or no white letter. And I'm still, that debate is still raging. These tires would be very easy to white letter because they are absolutely huge, these letters. They have such a huge relief on them. But at the same time, I'm thinking that with this car, a black wall would look better. Because it's like the modern street rod with the wheels, like they weren't really rocking the white letters. So I'm thinking that I'm going to go with black letters. And I'm just going to take a look here. All the wheels have the same number, so they're not the front rear specific. So we can just go ahead, and I see I've got a little bit of a nub on the edge of this wheel, and I don't like that. So I'm going to take one of my little sanding sticks, and I'm just going to kind of touch up that nub where it was mounted to the sprue. And then I'll go in and I will hit the rim with a chrome pen. And it only takes a second just to get rid of that nub, because I have very good sprue cutters. My last video series was sponsored by 9 Steps Industries, and they sent me some of their sprue cutters. And even though they're not sponsoring this video series, I will still mention these. These are freaking sweet. Those are sweet nippers. And I still use them. I also still use their knife, and I use several of the other products that they provided me for review. They have good products. So there's a little free advertising for you, 9 Steps. I often talk about products that I see that I like, that I use, that don't provide me anything, because I really don't care. I don't do this to get stuff. I do this to help all of you and share with all of you my passion for this hobby. That's why I do this. So I really don't mind sharing information. If there's a product out there that I like, I will talk about it. But also, if there is a product out there that I don't like or I have a hard time with, I talk about that too. So anybody who's going to send me stuff or want to enter into an agreement with me to send me products, be aware that if I don't like it, I'm going to tell everybody that too. I'll tell you that up front. I'm upfront and honest. I'm honest with my viewers. If I don't like something, I say it. So this all looks very, very good and very, very ready. So now I'm going to get my chrome pen, that I have here, and I've got a couple of little spots where I just need to touch up where I sanded. I don't think you would see it, but just in case. It's very easy to just give it a little blast of chrome around the lip. I suspect that that would go inside the tire anyway, or at the very least be so close to the rubber that you would never see it. There we go. Those wheels are so cool. They are such the part. Like, these wheels look the part, like, so much so. So I'm just going to pop that in there. Come on, get in there. There we go. All right, that's that. And then we have to take this. Are these all the same? These are all... Nope, we have front and rears on these. Yes, I have ones that are slightly deeper. Oh no, I have ones that have a drum plate on them. That's the difference. Those go in the back. These go in the front. This has a little brake caliper on it. This has a little brake caliper on it. That does not, and that does not. So that goes with those. These go with this. Very good, very good. So, I'm going to get my glue out. And we'll just put a little glue around here. And we will stick this in there. You're barely going to be able to see that through that wheel. But you will see it a little bit. So that is why it is painted up. It is also what attaches to the axle of the car, so we definitely need to install it. And the tire mostly holds this in place, so I'm not too inclined to worry about scraping paint and plating and all that stuff. Once you pop this into the wheel, that is not going anywhere. And that looks very much the part. That looks great. These are going to look so great on this car. I am so excited about these wheels. I know I keep going on and on about the wheels. You're all probably like, all right, Angelo, shut up about the wheels already. Hey, I like them, and they really look the part. In this era of cars, this is when I was a teenager, and these hot rods roamed the street with wheels and tires like this. Like, when I was, I would say 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, you know, that kind of stuff. And I was coming into cars, and I was heavy into cars. I mean, I was always heavy into cars, even as a boy. But when you started thinking about, like, you were going to be driving cars soon, and you start looking at hot rods and things like that, and like, wow, that's really cool. You know, this is what people were doing to their cars at that point in time in my childhood. So when I see a 90s style hot rod, you know, a lot of people will be like, oh, that's super retro. I don't like that, blah, blah, blah. They want new stuff that's stanced with 24-inch wheels. And I don't know, I look at something like this, and it brings me back. And because of that, you know, I have a soft place in my heart for this type. And this is why when I saw this box art, I was like, I'm totally doing... I don't often just do the box art. And but this time I was like, I got to do the box art. I gotta have those wheels and tires on here. You know, otherwise I would have, you know, 3D printed something or came up with some kind of alternative wheel and tire package, or something resto rodish, resto mod, resto rod, whatever you want to call it. But this just called my name. These wheels and tires are just so sweet. And I just said it again. Do you like the wheels and tires, Angelo? I think you like the wheels and tires. Yeah, just a little bit. They suit the car very well. And if I had a 67 Impala Street Machine back in the day, I would be running this stuff pretty much just like the car looks right here. Maybe not the magenta. But, or you never know, maybe. Maybe I would have went with the magenta. I have some silver paint on my thumb because I just deposited a little bit of it to the hood. So I'm going to go ahead and get that off of there. It will not stick to the 2K clear, so never fear, it will not stick to the clear. And I'm just going to glue this hood together because why not? I've got the glue out, I've got the two pieces. It is time. I'm not going to worry about scraping paint or plating because, again, this is not a high-stress joint. Once that glue takes and this hood sticks, that is not going to come off. Oh, that's going to look so good. I'm just doing like a little cheat there, just sticking that on there. So now this chrome trim, on the other hand, this chrome trim will be likely to take off and fall off and go places. So the edge of the hood is already bare plastic, so I am just going to scrape a little plating here. This is one of those instances where I will remove some plating so that this will stick really well to the hood. Because I don't want this little piece of chrome trim to go anywhere. Because this is the piece that will fall off in the display case and you will never see it again. Just making sure that this is in fact flat. I thought there was a little bit of a raise up, but I'm finding that there is not. So there we go. Now we can just apply a little bit of glue along this edge. And then we will apply this. And I am just realizing just now that I neglected to paint the bottom side of the hood black. I would ordinarily have painted that black, and I forgot. It's not too late. I could still do it. I would just paint the bottom of this chrome trim as well, black. We'll see. I may not. And there we go. That chrome trim is on there. And now we just have to let that cure. That looks very good. And now it's time to make a final decision on these wipers. To use the wipers or to not use the wipers? That is the question. If I don't use the wipers, I'm going to have these two holes here because I didn't fill them. Well, that doesn't look nearly as bad as I thought it would. Let's try the other one. Let's just put this here. And we'll make a decision. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the wipers. Though I think that I have them reversed. I believe this is the driver's side. Yeah, that's the driver's side. And this is the passenger side. Yeah. I like the look of it with them. We're going to use the wipers. Newsflash. And not the first time I've changed my mind on something halfway through a build. Or, I should say, in the 11th hour. We are in the home stretch on this build. So I'm just going to do a little chrome touch-up where the sprue attached to the wipers. So that they look even. And I'm just going to apply a little dab of glue in that hole. And then this hole. And that's that. And now I will take the driver's side wiper. And I will plop that on there. This would look really good with photo etched wipers, but I don't have any. I watch a lot of international model builders, and I watch a lot of the Japanese model builders, and a lot of them use photo etched wipers. And the photo etched wipers look absolutely amazing. I am a fan of photo etched wipers, but I don't have any presently. One of these days I'll use some photo etched wipers, perhaps on my next build, my next coming up build. Spoiler alert, if you're watching and you're still listening to me, you're going to get a spoiler right here. My channel has been sponsored by Alpha Model, and coming up next is going to be an Alpha Model kit. Which, if you don't know about Alpha Model, let me enlighten you. They are fantastic. It's kind of like Model Factory Hero kits. They're multimedia kits. They're resin, they're metal, and they are wonderful. And they shipped me a couple of their offerings, and I am going to be building them here on the channel, step by step, full build, just like this, starting when I complete this car. And just as a further little spoiler, I am thinking about doing this one first. I happen to have it right here, fresh out of the box from China. The Ferrari SF90 Spider. That is probably going to be next. Well, it's going to be an Alpha Model kit for sure, because I've been promising the poor guy that I was going to start building, and I haven't started building. I'm just checking my chrome trim, making sure it's doing well. It's doing well. The wheels and tires are good. Let's put the headlights in. Let's check our front end, pull it out of the dehydrator. All right, there's the front end out of the dehydrator. That's looking really good. Really, really good, actually. I got to do a little bit more on those edges, but for right now, we can pop these headlights in. And how I will do this is I will make sure that I remove them from the sprue very carefully with my 9 Steps Industries nippers. There we go. They are little tiny headlights. And there are 4 of these bad boys. There we go. So let's just do a little test fit. I'm gonna see if my wax pencils will cooperate, because they will make this easier. Oh, look at that. Yeah, these look good. So let's get a little Mod Podge in there. So here comes the Mod Podge again. Mod Podge is one of those things, man. If you're doing a clear part, Mod Podge is the way to go. I know I say it all the time. This is a good product. Just a little dab. I usually do the little dab in the center, because sometimes it ends up looking like a light bulb if it leaves any kind of residue when it cures. So I put the dab right smack dab in the center. And we will go and take a looky-see here. And I will just drop that light in there. There we go. And it needs to get turned a little. Perfect. And let's see here. I'll grab another one. There we go. I'll just pop that in there. And this one also needs to get turned a little to be level. There it is. And we'll just push it down. There it goes. 2 down, 2 to go. I learned about these wax pencils also from watching some Japanese model builders. They use them religiously. So I ordered some up. I said, hey, that's a great product and a great idea. Rather than shoehorning the light in there with tweezers, you can just drop it in like that. Nice and easy. Now this needs to, whoa! I'm going to do that again. That needs to get rotated a little bit. There it is, just like that. push it in so it makes contact with the glue. That looks very good. And now we can go ahead while we are working on this front end. One of the things that we have not done yet is the turn signals, the front turn signals. So I'm just going to hit them with a little orange Sharpie. Just to kind of give me the appearance of a turn signal. Right over the top of the chrome. There we go. That looks pretty good. There we go. This front end is just about done. That looks good to me. I'm ready for that to go on the car. So, we'll back up a page. Just take a look and make sure there wasn't anything else I'm forgetting. There is nothing else I'm forgetting. We are good. So I'm going to take this toothpick out of here because it is done holding that master cylinder in place. And now let's look and see what's involved in putting this front end on. I'm willing to bet not. Wow. Look at how good that fits. Wow. It literally just right in place. Wow. I'm blown away. Okay. Well, this is going to be easy. So let's go ahead and let's put a little glue on. I love this kit. You know, for an old AMT kit, I mean, everything fits. Everything looks good. And even if you didn't want to do the retro 90s style like I'm doing it with all of these. And don't ever put your fingers here while you're putting it on, because if any glue oozes out, you get the glue on your fingers. And it makes a mess. Hold it from the center while you're doing this. And, like, that's it. Oh, spoke too soon. All right, so it's obviously going to need a little bit of help. So I'm going to set this down. And I'm going to put this tire in the way for now. There we go. While I cap my glue. And the tire is doing its job. It's holding it in place. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of tape. There we go. And I'm going to push the front end back up where it belongs. There it is. And I'll put a little bit of tape on the front end. And I'll go and I'll tape it to this lamp panel here. There we go. And that will hold the front end in place whilst it is curing. Boy, that looks good. Good, good, good. The only thing that's left on this build, and then we're done, is exhaust tips and wheels and tires. So come on back in a few seconds. With the magic of video editing, we will be back, and it will be time to put the wheels and tires on and the exhaust tips and have a photo session. Time to stick the wheels on. This is kind of a... I realize I've gone on and on and on about these wheels and tires. So this is kind of a monumentous occasion. I just want to see if they're going to cooperate with me or if they're going to be difficult. Those are going to cooperate very nicely. The rears are not going to cooperate as nicely. Oh, wait. Don't speak so soon. Yep, that's awesome. So the rears are actually going to pressure fit in there very nicely. The fronts, however, are going to require a little glue. So we'll just plop a little glue on there. Make sure that's a rear. That's a front. And we'll just pop that in there. And then this is also a front. We'll just pop that in there. Wow, those fit marvelously. And now this is also a rear, which we have to clear the rear fender and then go onto the axle. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh boy. Boy, does that look great. Oh. Yeah, this one's going to my office for sure. This one's definitely going to my office to display on my desk at work. Definitely. I am a fan of this car. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so then the only thing that's left are these exhaust tips, which look like they could be difficult. So it looks like it's just a tab that rests in there. So what we have to do is we have to very gently and very carefully scrape some plating off of here, because these little guys ain't going to stick worth a hoot without scraping off the plating. So I'm going to scrape some plating off of the bottom and the two sides of these little tabs. Just like that. There we go. And then where the exhaust tips are on the car, there's not a tremendous amount of paint in there already. So the glue is going to basically eradicate the paint when I put it on. So now we need to just get that in there. And so what I'm going to do to facilitate this happening easier, I think I'm going to use the Tamiya Extra Thin, because the Tamiya Extra Thin is liquid and the capillary action puts it right in there real easy. And then I can take this exhaust tip and put it in there. And then all that will be left after I finish these exhaust tips, after I finish gluing them, will be to just do a little bit of chrome on the edge. This one actually has a little bit of flash on it still, actually. So I'm gonna get that off of there real quick. There we go. And then after it sets up, I can go back in with a little chrome pen, add a little tiny bit of chrome, and a little black dot in the center. And I was right, the Extra Thin is setting that up very quickly. And the fact that I removed some plating from the tip was a very good call. This one I'm just gonna hit real quick. There we go. And the Extra Thin I will put on the exhaust pipe. And now we put the tip in. And again, just getting it set in is all we really need to do. And once this glue takes hold, that's going to be it. Just got to get it in place and then be able to push it from the reverse side. There it is. So now I just need to push it. There it goes. Oh yeah, the tips are on. So the only part that's left is, we'll just straighten this one a little bit. We don't want any wonky tips here. So all that's left is two little black dots, and then it's photo shoot time. We're going to go ahead and kick off the photo shoot with a little video. Enjoy. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that little video as much as I had a good time making it. I'm having a really good time with video editing and that kind of stuff, and improving my videos and making them better. So here is the car, complete. I had a really good time with this kit. I think this kit is a hidden gem. I don't see a lot of guys building this kit online. The AMT 1967 Chevy Impala is a fantastic kit. Everything fits the way it should. The front end, the chassis mating to the body was just a little bit tough last video, but not much. Once you figured out what you needed to do, it went right into place very easily. The front bumper, the back bumper, the window glass, all the things that sometimes give you a little bit of difficulty with this kit were very easy to do. And as I've said 1,000,001 times, I'm a huge fan of the retro 90s style wheels. The 90s style monochromatic paint scheme, I think, suits the car very well. And the magenta choice of color selection, I think, was also a winner. Everything just kind of lined up on this build. It's one of my favorites. I had a really good time building it. I hope you guys have had a really good time following along. Up next is going to be, as I mentioned, the Alpha Model Kit, as I mentioned earlier in the video series. So there's going to be another full build series here on Angelo's Workbench coming up starting next week, Wednesday at noon Eastern Time. So thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share. Spread the word. All of that helps me out tremendously. Also, check me out on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, all under the name Angelo's Workbench, Automotive Dreams in Scale, right here. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you all next Wednesday at noon.